friends, welcome back to my channel Bag Borrow Brew. I'm Arya Roy. I'm an assistant brand manager at L'Oreal India, and on this channel I share experience starting with my MBA to post MBA career and a lot of things that I like and love in between, ranging from travel to cold brew. Hi everyone. Today's interview series of No One Size Fits All. I have a very dear friend, Aman Grover. He is from my NUS MBA batch. He is currently taking care of APAC sales for Henkel. He was the NUS marketing class president, a scholarship holder, and has a lot to share when it comes to B2B sales in APAC. So welcome, Aman, on this series. I'm really excited to have you to share your experience.
So first of all, thank you very much, Arya, for having me here. I think it's a pleasure to speak with you, and I must say that you are doing a fabulous job with this new channel, and I'm very happy to answer your questions today.
Thank you, Aman. The pleasure is all mine because I truly believe that there's a lot that the viewers can take away from your journey so far. And I believe that you have a lot to share in terms of key insights if someone wants to curate their career as you have done in APAC in B2B sales. So let's dive straight into the interview questions and not waste too much time. I think the first question that I want to ask you is, what role are you currently in? I just want to help the viewers understand what your profile entails.
So I'm working with Henkel Adhesive Technologies. I'm stationed at Singapore, and I'm heading sales for aerospace business, managing Asia Pacific market excluding China and ANC. My current portfolio would be tiers of Airbus, Boeing, and other key global aerospace OEMs who produce aircraft components made of composites and metals. And we from Henkel supply chemicals, adhesives, sealants into those production lines. In addition to this, we also work with MRO companies who does maintenance and repair of aircraft and their components throughout their life cycle. So that is what we do, and that's what I do.
Oh, that's very interesting. For the viewers, Henkel is the leader in adhesives technology globally, and they have a big hub when it comes to aerospace, specifically in Singapore. And I think Aman is located in a very key and strategic position when it comes to aerospace business. And in the conversation going forward, you will understand how he got into the role, etc. So, of course, now I think my next question to you, Aman, is that did you know very early on that sales is something that you truly wanted? Were there any life experiences during your formative years that helped direct you in this direction?
I think you would agree with me that it is very difficult to decide what you would end up doing at a very early age. I think it's the ecosystem around you, the kind of people that you meet, the experiences that you have, and you always see your parents and try to get that inspiration, and then you try to get an idea as to what is your calling. So I grew up into a business family. My extended family was also involved in some kind of businesses or the other. So my idea of work at a very early stage was doing business. There are some people, who would want to get into accounting, into finance, into, becoming a data scientist or get into art. But for me, it was always about running a business because that's what I saw, around me when I was growing up.
Okay, so that puts some perspective into why were you interested in business. But I think my next question to you would be, why specifically sales within business? Because there's so many different aspects of business that you can get into. What motivated you to get into sales?
Okay, so like I mentioned, I was always interested in running a business. So once I finished my mechanical engineering, I had a few offers lined up. I had the opportunity of working with Tata Consultancy Services as a system engineer. Alternatively, Hitachi was offering a management trainee program, which would eventually go up into a sales role. So I went ahead with Hitachi. And now when I look back, I believe in the corporate world, sales is the closest that you can get to if you want to run your own business. Of course, in the early years of your sales role, you don't get to get exposure into the entire value chain. But when you graduate into more senior roles, becoming a sales manager, becoming a regional manager, managing a region, managing your profit and loss statements, you basically end up, fulfilling your entrepreneurial, so to speak, aspirations working with the right organization. So I think this is what brought me into sales, and this is what kept me going for about 7 to 8 years now.
I think, Aman, the next question that immediately pops in my mind, because you mentioned that you did mechanical engineering and then went on to work in sales at Hitachi prior to your MBA. I want to understand whether you feel that having done an engineering degree has helped you in your current role today.
So there are two aspects of it, right? One is your function, you choose a function, and then you choose an industry. So the first thing that I chose was that I wanted to be a salesperson. That's a function. And this function, of doing sales does not change across industries. So, that's the basics of the sales do not really change. And the second is industry. So the industry that I chose, working with Hitachi and now with Henkel, required me to have a mechanical or industrial or chemical engineering background, because it really helped me to understand the product portfolio so that I could really excel in my career. So my message is choose a graduation that will help you to get the right basics of the industry you want to get into, and then think of a role that you would want to play in that industry. I think the answer lies somewhere there. So when you're choosing, just think about the industry that will help you decide your first graduation. And then, of course, with your experiences and with what you like, think about what role do you want to play, so that will help you to get into a certain function.
I think you put it so beautifully. I think it's a great way to look at your career planning if you are looking at it much early on, let's say around your 12th grade, if you're trying to evaluate what you want to do, or even at the start of a graduation itself, you are kind of looking to fine tune and narrow down your stream, then this is a great way to look at it. Thank you so much for that. So for my viewers, what I would like to, of course, highlight out here is that Aman was a star salesperson at Hitachi in India itself. He was doing extremely well, and knowing that he wanted to do sales, my next question, of course, to him would be, you were already in a sales role. What motivated you to take up an MBA program? What made you feel that you need to do this as a next step part of your career planning?
So, like I said, that I always wanted to manage business, run a business. So sales is basically the first step towards managing the entire business. And I had fulfilled that requirement by taking up a front-end B2B regional sales role operating from Mumbai. And I did that for about 3 years. And then I found out that there is a lot more to it. You need to train yourself into things like how to manage a team, the financial side of business, the marketing aspects, how to launch new businesses, so on and so forth. And if you look at MBA programs around the world, they offer you a formal training into these components. So in order to achieve the long-term goal of managing business and leading from the front, I explored various MBA courses around the world and ended up getting into NUS, which I believe really worked for me as I get one step closer to my long-term goal in a way. Yeah.
Okay, so makes sense why MBA. But what made you choose NUS specifically? What were the key motivating factors when it came to picking NUS as your school for MBA?
I think the basic criteria of choosing NUS was choosing to be in Asia. And if you look around Asia, Singapore has a very strong reputation of being cosmopolitan and offering you exposure into the overall Asian market. Most of the global multinationals, choose to have a regional office in Singapore to drive their business in Asia. I believe this makes Singapore as a very logical choice for anyone wanting to get an MBA degree in Asia. And then if you go inside Singapore, I believe NUS has a very good reputation globally, and it's ranked highly as well, which kind of gives you some perspective into the quality of education that you can expect. So I think it was an easy decision for me to choose NUS once I was accepted into the program.
And you were given a very heavy scholarship.
Not a very heavy scholarship. I am just thankful to NUS for considering, to give me some kind of relaxation in my tuition fee, which kind of worked for me as well because I was paying for my MBA myself. So
Yeah.
I think everybody who's paying for their own MBA understands, how much work goes into that, into repaying your debt back to the banks.
So I think my next question to you would be, how did you get the current role that you are in post your MBA? If you can share some tips and tricks for our viewers so that they can understand what it takes to actually get a job post MBA in a market like Singapore.
Yeah, so I think it's not easy to get a job in Singapore, and anyone who has been on this side and wanting to get the same thing can agree with me. And it's only because of the size of the market. You see, one thing is for sure, the quality of roles that you get here in Singapore and the exposure and learning that comes with it really makes it worth, working hard to get your first job here. And I think like any other market, one could use many, many different approaches to get that dream job. What worked for me was getting an internship in Henkel. So I spent almost 10 months doing business analysis, which kind of gave me an entry into the organization. And then after spending 10 months, I connected with the right people, understood how the organization works, and then looked for opportunities that would fit my long-term aspiration. And you know what? I was fortunate enough that I got a role that was a natural next step for my career. I was doing regional sales with Hitachi pre-MBA, and here with Henkel, I got an opportunity to manage their aerospace business in Southeast Asia and lead a team. So this is what worked for me. And some of the things that people could choose to do is they could very well use their university platform. So I can vouch for NUS that they have a very fantastic job search platform where they provide you many quality jobs. And then, of course, you get into the process of hiring from there. And of course, you need to understand that you need to network really strongly and then find those right people, who have a similar mindset as you. And it's not easy. You will really, really have to work hard for it to get a job in Singapore. As simple as that, because they offer you quality and quality doesn't come easy.
Yeah, I think you brilliantly put that. Just to summarize for the viewers, if I'm not mistaken, you found the Henkel internship on the NUS Career Services portal itself, and you established your credibility with the organization to get the interview and then convert a role by working with them for 10 months. So I think that is the most important thing, that, prove your credibility in the industry and you will have opportunities. So your quality of work matters a lot. Right, and that has truly helped you. So of course, the next question is that I would like you to share 2 key takeaways, insights, anything, learnings that you want to give that can help people basically with their career. It can be very broad, but anything that you would like to share.
Yeah, so I think like everyone else, I've had many takeaways from the time that I spent in NUS, or now working with Henkel for about 3 years now. So I would rather stick to the very basic ones, so everybody who's listening understands that the basics really don't change. Yeah. The first one would be to have an attitude where you say that learning never stops. Because when I came to Singapore, it was a new market for me. And then, I spent time in the university where, we were in touch with people from 25 different nationalities. So there was a lot to take away from that. Then I graduated to an internship, which was a business analysis role. So that was also something new because I had not done that before. So I had to keep up with that mindset saying that, okay, this is something new, I have to learn it. And then I graduated into managing aerospace business for Southeast Asia. Now, all the countries in Southeast Asia were new to me, and they are known for their diversity. So if you look at Indonesia, it's very difficult from Singapore. If you look at Thailand, it's very difficult from Korea. So I think having that open mindset and telling yourself that you would be a lifelong learner would really help anyone who wants to excel in their professional lives. And the second very basic takeaway would be aiming to be the most hardworking person in the group and not necessarily the smartest person. actually, you should not even aim to be the smartest person in the group, because if you are, then there is something wrong. You should always be, surrounded by people who are more smart than you, so that you have that opportunity to learn every day. And I think if you are looking for that incremental improvement every day, it can do wonders to your career. So these are two things that I totally believe in.
Brilliant points. I think, as you said, these are something that you can apply throughout your life. It's not very specific to any one point in your career, and not specific to any one profile or industry or function. So thank you for that. I think great two learnings that you've shared. Aman, I want to wrap up this interview with the final question. What's next for you? I want to just understand, what are you looking forward to in 2021?
So I think right now I'm enjoying my role. I'm growing to take up newer markets in Asia Pacific, and I have my eyes set on a few things that I would like to accomplish in 2021. And some of the good things about working with Henkel is that it's a very diverse organization. It caters to a lot of different industries, and it has that global footprint. So trying out new functions or geographies would be something that I would love to do, with a long-term goal in mind of building businesses and teams, because that is what leadership is to me at the end of the day. Yeah.
Brilliant. I think all the very best. You have always been, as I said, a big star player when it comes to your professional journey. So I believe that you will accomplish everything that you are looking forward to, and truly inspire our viewers, because I'm sure they'll be tracking you down on LinkedIn very soon. So thank you, Aman. Thank you for coming on this series, No One Size Fits All, and sharing some key insights with our viewers. It was really nice to have you and have this conversation.
Thank you very much, Arya. Nice to speak with you.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you found it to be informative. And of course, for all future updates about my channels and other videos that I post, please hit the subscribe button. And of course, up until the next video, please stay safe and stay happy.